Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh Shemel Shai Bashar Makak. With that, Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. And I'm going to entitle this video, Thou Shalt Not Follow a Multitude to Do Evil. And the second title of this video, is How Fast Did the Most High Take Away the Truth? So, as you see the precept right here, start from the first verse, Exodus 23 verse 1, which is the law, sundry laws. Thou shalt not raise a false report, meaning you not to lie on anybody, bear false witness, but put not thine hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. In other words, somebody lies on you and they get a witness to back up the fact that you're lying on that person. But it also means, it says, put not thine hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. When we go out there and teach, we're witnessing, right? We read the scriptures and then we're bringing it out to the people. So if you have a teacher that's bringing his word out wrong, you're not to follow him. It says, thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil. If you're deliberately teaching this word the wrong way, or you might have come up under a teacher and you've seen other groups teach otherwise, and you kind of do the homework and you realize that your teacher's going off, you're supposed to rebuke him. And if he doesn't turn around, repent, then you're supposed to leave him. So let me read that again. Second verse, Exodus 23 verse 2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil. You got a lot of Israelites that join certain groups. If there's a big group and they're doing big things, you're in your mind, your feeble mind, you say, well, these, the Most High, got to be dealing with them. Look at the size of the group, or look at the way they're speaking, or look how many views they got, or look at how they dress, or whatever. The Most High, I'm merely paraphrasing, judge not according to the outward appearance. So you gotta, the Spirit's got to be with you to see who's really telling you the truth. You know, this guy, T.D. Jakes, Thomas Dexter Jakes, it's already in there that he's one of them. That's all I'm going to say. And the majority of the people that are following him are going to continue to follow him, just like the majority of the followers of Eddie Long continued to follow him until shortly after, what was it, inside of a year, the Most High shriveled him up to a burnt piece of bacon and took his ass out. And then they try to, put this man back on the pedestal. That they had a so-called small hat. The guy was wearing an Edomite small hat with no beard on his face with a suit. And they put him in a chair. And they had a gigantic Torah, if y'all remember that. And the guy was saying, they were pretty much saying that that's King David. But that didn't help. And that shows you, what does that show you? Who's behind these churches? Who's behind these churches? Because these pastors and these ministers, and even certain Israelite groups, have made backdoor deals. Do we need to talk about Comfy, the so-called God-sent comforter? That was at one time the biggest Israelite school out there, but now it's a little church. It's not even talked about. It's insignificant right now. It's a little corner church in Harlem. That's all it is. High Priest Ariah is not teaching. He's retired. High Priest Shaw is not teaching. So it's left to these men that were back there. I don't know the details of what's going on, but it ain't, the scriptures say this about the disciples, about the apostles, about the teachers, the apostles, the elders, the prophets, that part of their job is to constantly push this word and to go out on the highways and the byways. So, let me come back to this. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrestle. The word is rest, which means wrestle. The word there should be, as a matter of fact, I'm going to click on it. Nata. See if I'm correct. Yeah, to wrestle. To stretch out, expand, to spread out, to bend. Right, that means to wrestle. And the word is nata. You know it's a lie, but you put precepts together and speak in such a way to make that lie the truth, or to make that evil thing good. You do a lot of speaking behind a particular scripture to make people believe it means that, but all you got to do is read the scripture. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do it. Well, that's a bit, the Lord got to be dealing with them. Look at how big they are. They got churches all over the world. Yeah, but if you see wickedness, you're supposed to stand up to it. And I'm not talking about someone that just came in, that been in this thing for a week or two, a couple of months. But if you in this thing for a number of years and you know you can navigate through the scriptures and you see that your leader is clearly going off on the scriptures, you're supposed to stand up. Yeah, but he's a higher rank than me. Well, did not the Apostle Paul stand up against Peter and curse Peter out in Galatians 2? It says, thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrestle judgment. Neither shalt thou countenance a poor man in his cause, meaning he's supposed to help you can't disrespect the poor. You got to help the poor. You can't call them bums. If if thou meetest thine enemy's ox, what does it mean by the enemies? Is it talking about Esau? No, it's talking about your enemies among Israel that you don't like. And look, you don't have to like or be in love with every Israelite, but you still got to be brotherly to them. Because you had Israelites that didn't necessarily like Israelites. But you still got to be brotherly to them. And the law still applies whether you like the individual or not. So that stuff when these clown-ass Christians bring out, in Matthew's about the Beatitudes, about love thine enemies, it's talking about other Israelites. It speaks about thy neighbors. Thy neighbors are Israelites. You go into a well-to-do Edomite neighborhood, you ain't going to see no Jakes up in there. Their neighbors are going to be Edomites. And then you may have a token Negro in the neighborhood to say, no, we're not racist. See, this nigga down the street, he has a nigga family down the street. We're not racist. Yeah, let Jake come all in there. What are they going to say? There goes the neighborhood. And you can actually say that because niggas will fuck up a neighborhood. And that's a fact. Anyway, so now Let me give you this here. I got this little list together. If a ruler hearken to lies, if your leader is teaching a lie and you know it's a lie, all his servants are wicked. And that goes hand in hand with the last scripture that I read in Exodus 23. You're following the crowd. And if I was a part of the IUIC, for example, well, you can say the ICGJC. If I was a part of the ICGJC and this guy came out and said, oh, I found out Spirit came to me and said I was a God sent comforter, I may raise my hand and say, what you mean by that? Or I may just get up and leave. I don't know. I may do I probably did a Irish exit. Just got up and left and never came back. So when this individual, Tazadaki, and you see what the Most High brought swift judgment upon him. He took him out. Took him out on so-called April Fool's Day with the C9 by the C-19. So that just shows you that the Most High is not playing. One of the brothers out there in the West, he came in at 5,000. And I know he didn't give no 10%. He just went out on a damn spree, on a drunken spree, you know, and that money fucked him up. What was it saying in Proverbs 30? Matter of fact, let me go to that since I'm here. Proverbs. Matter of fact, Proverbs 29 and 1. He that being often reproved hardens his neck, shall suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy. Now, when you watch that video of a brother in my camp, the name of the video, I re-uploaded it, and them brothers were going into how he used to always go off, and they would always have to pull him to the side. Well, it says, he that being often reproved hardeneth his neck shall suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy. And he was ultimately, he came into some 5Gs. He didn't know how to act with the 5Gs. And he went out on a spending spree getting drunk. Then he tried to cross a highway. You know how it is out there in the western highways. And he got hit by numerous cars. And he was he was all into pieces. A head was over here, a hand was over there, a foot was over there. Can you imagine that? You see a backup, and then you see a body parts all over the place. That'll fuck you up for life. Or your kids, but the kid, don't look down. And you trying not to look, but you want to look. So the Most High, the Most High put swift destruction on him. He that being often reproved hearkeneth his neck shall suddenly be destroyed. So suddenly be destroyed. And destroyed means to be broken up. And that without remedy. In other words, you can't put them pieces together again. Like Humpty Dumpty. Oh, I wanted 30. Proverbs 30. And this is about this time. This Most High willing, this will be the year of Jacob's trouble. It should be the year, but this is the Most High's timetable, so I can't tell the Most High what to do. But hey, here it is, January 6th. And this has been a hell of a week There's earthquakes all over the place, all over the world. That did not, and Esau deliberately does not broadcast all the earthquakes that's going on. Let me go right to the point. Or 4, who have ascended up into the heavens, or descended, who hath gathered the wind in his fist, who hath bound the waters in a garment, who hath established all the ends of the earth. What is his name, and what is his son's name, if thou canst tell? So if you claim to be a man of the Most High, a prophet, Amos 3 verse 7 says he will do nothing but revealeth his secrets unto the servants and the prophets. Is the Most High's name and his son's name a secret? No. The angel that encountered Manoah, which was the father of Samson, Manoah asked the angel, "What is your name?" And he said, "Don't worry about my name, being that my name is a secret." So is the Most High's name? Did the Father, did the Lord, when he encountered Moses, when Moses asked him about his name, did he say, "Don't worry about my name is secret"? No, he said, "This is my name." If you read Exodus 3 and Exodus 6. Exodus chapter 3 and Exodus chapter 6. Matter of fact, I'm going to go to that. Hope it's not Leviticus. Okay, I just found it. Exodus 3. And they shall say to me, what is this his name? What shall I say? So he gave him his name. 15 verse says, Moses, children of Israel, Lord our fathers, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, have set me unto you. This is my name forever, and this is my memorial unto all generations. Meaning, he's not going to give you a new name, because he wouldn't say, he'd be a liar if he said, gave you a new name. He said, "This is my name forever," and that name was Yahweh. And if you're a prophet, you're supposed to know his name. I am Yahweh, and I appeared unto Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob by the name of. Now, in the Hebrew, the word is Allah Shadia. Now, you have a video, if I can find it, I'll put it up, of T.D. Jakes. That Edomite chick that looks like the Joker, she's a pastor. A funny looking Edomite chick looked just like the Joker from Batman. And then Kenneth Copeland, they all say that the Most High had breasts because the word El Shaddai means breast. Now, I mentioned it briefly. I didn't go all into it. Apostle Ramlab had went on into it. The word Shad, does translate into breast, but the word shadia is a completely different word. It means destroyer or demon like. But by my name, the word there is Jehovah. We know that there was no J in the Hebrew, no V in the Hebrew, and no E sound. So, Yah, not the Hov, Yah. Look, Hov is not the name of the Most High, because the Most High would not allow this nigga, what's this guy? Damn, I can't even think of his name. My brain is going. Jay-Z talking about Hov. That's not the name of the Most High. This is a sacred name. Okay, the word is Yahweh. Was I not known unto them? And it said this is his name forever. If you go back to the 3rd chapter. So my question here is this. I want you to just watch this. I'm not going to make this too much longer. Here you got IUIC again playing with the name of the Most. And the Most High is going to break that group up. If there's any of the elect in there, they're going to come out. And they should be coming out now. But the Most High is going to break that group out. Break that group up. Because this guy, Bishop Nathaniel, had to make some back deal. He had a meeting where he said, look, you can't use the name of the true name of the Most High, Yahweh, and you can't use his son's name, Yahweh Shai. That's why he teaches his followers, we don't know his name, or Most High in Christ bless. And we keep saying that. And then I did a video of an Edomite, looked like an Edomite woman saying, what is his true name? And they went around. The one guy said, you disrespected, you're a disrespectful group. Hey, you gonna disrespect the name of the Most High by calling him by his true name? You gotta call him. He said you can't call. You gotta call him Daddy, or something to that effect. Which I put that in there. Or maybe he did say that Father. You don't call your father. Well, if your father in a formal sense, your father is Joe Smith or whatever. Now, as a kid growing up, you're going to call him the nickname Dad. Like Marshall, King Marshall, we used to call him Mo. Because we knew him like that. Anybody new that came in to call him Marshall, you don't call him Mo, you call him Marshall. So the Most High's name is not Daddy. It's not Big Daddy Warbucks. It's not Big Papa. And this is what happened going back to Tazadaki, the so-called God-sent comforter. He said, we don't know the name of the Most High. We don't know his son's name. We don't know the Heavenly Father's name. At one time they said, well, we don't know the son's name, but we know the Father's name is Yahweh. So the son's name is Bun Yahweh. Well, we knew, and then when they would do videos, they would say so and so and such apostle of the apostolic succession. So when I heard them say that, I said, what the hell does that mean? So I looked it up. It's a Roman Catholic term, which means you're in the seat of the apostles. It is apostolic succession, to succeed the like you have a term called replacement theology or supersessionism. These leaders of these churches, the Pope and so forth, and the cardinals, they're like sitting in the seat of the disciples or the apostles. So that's a Roman Catholic term. Apostolic succession. So I said, when I heard that, I said, let me look that up. And sure enough, what was the guy? Chick Publications. We used to go to this store in Harlem and get them Chick Publications. And I forget the guy, Rivera, and he came out against the Roman Catholic Church. And he said that they run the world. They run the secular world. They control the secular world, and the so-called religious or spiritual world, and they say they rule. What's the term for the secular rule of the world? I forget the term. Somebody help me out. But the religious rule, when they send agents to churches, that's under the apostolic succession. So we knew that the former, One West, then completely sold out, and High Priest Ariel should have stood up to it. Uh, High Priest Shaw should have stood up to it. High Priest Ariel and High Priest Shaw pretty much they're asleep. They might as well be dead. Real talk, because they're not out there teaching. I don't know when that came out. I don't know if Josiah was still in the school and Kazak was still in the High Priest. Josiah and High Priest Kazak was still in school. I know that they left, and that was in 2005. So I believe they left before that. But if they were there, it was up to them. And they left in the High Priest Kazak. He did a couple of videos on a couple of YouTube. He was a guest on a couple of YouTube pages. The last one he was on was Killer Priest, which Killer Priest used to be a part of my camp. But he doesn't want to tell you that. He'll never tell you that story. Well, he's not as yet. He'll say, well, I used to be a part of, Hebrew Israelites. I was into heart. He will never say that. Because he's ashamed of what he was into. He's into his cosmic knowledge, that deep, hidden knowledge, esoteric information. So he'll have guests on, and he'll talk like Israelites, and he'll act like he's asking questions like he doesn't know what Israel's all about, because he's ashamed of the gospel. And the Most High gonna make him take that chip, and the Most High is gonna destroy him. So Kazak, or High Priest Kazak, said that was his title, so I call him that. He said that they left because the certain group, and he mentioned the group, came in and changed everything. So they saw it and they left. So it was up to High Priest Ariel, and High Priest Shaw to straighten things out, because they were the leaders at that time, and somehow he became the leader by saying, I'm the comforter. So that made him shoot up over all of them. I'm the comforter. So I'm over everybody. And the masses of the people believed it. Exodus 23. A lot of these people are they pretty much have a sheepish mentality. They got this zombie mentality. Whatever the leader says, that's what they go by. I'll give you another precept. So now we're in the time of great sifting. Proverbs 29:12. If a ruler hearken to lies, all his servants are wicked. If a ruler hearken to lies, all his servants are wicked. Because there's going to be some servants that's going to say, wait a minute, that's not true, and you're supposed to stand up to it. And if the leader doesn't listen and the congregation don't listen, then you move on. So, High Priest Ariel and High Priest Shaw, they're going to have to answer to what they did in allowing this demon to do what he did. Because I wasn't going to stand for that bullshit. This may be the year that the Most High bring judgment, starting at the house, starting at the believers, the Israelites, the leadership, or the people that know that they're Israelites. Because like I said, the majority of these people that you see, following certain leaders, a lot of them don't know what's going on. If the leader leaves this thing or drops dead or whatever, they're gonna look for a new leader, or they're just gonna go back to being a Baptist or a Roman Catholic or whatever. A lot of these people in a zombie state don't know what the hell's going on. Okay, let me come over here. So this is 1 minute and 8 seconds in.
The book of Matthew, chapter 7 and verse 21. Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven. This is Christ speaking himself. He says, not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, or what's his name again? Yeshua, Jesus, Yahweh Shai, everybody that says unto me, Yahweh, Lord,
Elohim,
shall enter.
That shows you that neither of them knew the name of the Most High. When the guy said, come back.
Or what's his?
See, they might put his name out there, but they'll put his name out there with a bunch of other names. You know, like you got garbage. Just throw that in the garbage. Just put it with the rest of the garbage, which is wicked as hell. So he did say the name Yahweh Shai. He said, oh, that's one of the names. That may or may not be one of the names. That's complete wickedness. So this man doesn't believe that the name of the Son is Yahweh Shai. Follow not a multitude to do evil, to do wickedness.
Me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven. This is Christ speaking himself. He says, not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, or what's his name again? Yeshua.
Which, by the way, would have corrected him. It's not Yeshua. Now, why did he call on Yeshua? Because he heard somebody else say it. He didn't do no. He's not no scholar. He didn't. I'm surprised they didn't tell him to take his hat off. He didn't do no research. He just heard somebody say Yeshua, which he couldn't break it down. If I say, what does the Yah mean in Yeshua? He don't know. He's regurgitating what he heard from somebody else.
Yeshua, Jesus, Yahweh.
Now you notice how he said Yeshua, Jesus, Yahweh Shai. He put the true name in there, but he put it in there mixed with that. The scriptures speak about I can't even think of the precept. I can't even think of the wording, but it does go. It does go wrestle with judgment. You know, it goes back to Exodus 23. You know, you're mixing. Oh, I'm sorry. Perfect example. When you go to Exodus chapter 12, mainly Exodus chapter 12. That's the chapter that I want, which speaks about the sheep. That you pull out a sheep, that the sheep is a year old, a male, without blemish. And that represents Yahweh Shai. What did it mean that Yahweh Shai, or the sheep being without blemish? It's talking about Yahweh Shai, meaning he came perfect. He didn't break one law. So he was a sheep. He represented that sheep. A male sheep of 1 year, not without blemish. So what do? You pick out that sheep among the other sheep. Some of the sheep got a little black in them, some black, gray, a little brown, a little white, some off-white. No, you get the one that's, you separate the females from the males, then you separate, and that goes into you having your own farm. And then you take you regulate the sheep, and when they're 1 year, it's okay. This one is 1 year old. This is a male, and this is without blemish. So the name Yahweh Shai represents also the name Yahweh Shai represents that sheep without blemish. So you have to separate that sheep without blemish from the rest of the sheep like the Jesus, Yeshua. And then he even started mentioning the Most High's name the wrong way. And this is why this keeps coming up. Let me come on back. So he doesn't know what's going on. He just heard somebody, he watched some video, he heard somebody say Yeshua, and he brought out Yeshua. So he doesn't know. And right then, you, like I said, I'm saying it again, you got to correct him. No, his name is Yahushai. No, it's not. I'm a Hebrew scholar. I said, okay, what does the Yah mean in Yeshua? He don't know. Emmanuel. So we say that these other One West groups, they don't have all the breath. Let's listen to it again.
Lord shall enter into the kingdom of heaven. This is Christ speaking himself. He says, not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, or what's his name again?
Yeshua.
Yeshua.
He said Yeshua, and he said Yeshua, so he's saying that's his name.
Jesus, Yahushai.
Now you notice how he put Yahushai in there? He mixed it. He mixed Yahushai's name, which represents the pure male sheep, or lamb, sheep, or goat, of 1 year, a male without blemish. So he put the sheep without blemish. He mixed them in with the female sheep, the ones with blemish. He mixed it back in there. He didn't separate the sheep, that particular sheep, from the rest of the sheep. So you got to separate the name of Yahweh Shai from Yeshua, from Jesus, from all these other names. So he just mixed them right in there. Let's listen to it one more time. And I saw this. I saw Christ's name, so I said, let me listen to this.
To me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven. This is Christ speaking himself. He says, not
first he said, this is Christ speaking himself. Now, if you say Christ because they don't understand, I understand that. But you got to say, look, his real name is in the Hebrew.
Everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, or what's his name again?
Yeshua.
Jesus, Yahushai. Everybody that says unto me, Yahweh.
Now, see, he should have shut the fuck up. Then he says Yahweh. We ain't talking about the Heavenly Father. And you can see that look. See, I know I'm just as deep as y'all. I'm just as deep as y'all. He should have shut the hell up. He said Yeshua. He said it wrong, but he was close. Then he said Yahweh. So now you can call Yahushai Yahweh. Let me bring this back again.
Kingdom of heaven. This is Christ speaking himself. He says, not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, or what's his name again? Yeshua. Jesus, Yahushai. Everybody that says unto me, Yahweh, Lord,
Elohim.
Lord, shall enter into the kingdom.
This nigga kept talking. He said Yahweh, Elohim. First, and I'm going to ask him, what does Elohim mean? What does the He mean? What does the He mean in Elohim? He don't know. See, he's just throwing out a bunch of names that he saw some other videos. And he didn't even say Yahweh. He said Yeshua. He said Elohim, Yahweh. So he's completely confused. And this man had supposedly have the information to say, no, that's the name of the Most High. That's the name of the Father, which is different from the Son.
You understand that? He said, just because you say that name don't mean you're going to get to the kingdom. Right. Read it again.
And that's true, because you have to do this work. You have to come into the fold. You have to be a part of the elect, number one. You have to be called. A lot of brothers were called, but a lot of brothers fell off because they were not chosen. They were called, but they were not chosen. And the name is a part of the doctrine. When you get deep into these scriptures, you begin to call on the name of Yahweh or Yahushai. And then you do the will of him that sent you, just like it says in Matthew 7:21.
Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord,
Bring it out.
shall enter into the kingdom of heaven. Y'all got that, right? But what? But he that doeth the will of my Father, which is in...
Well, the will of the Heavenly Father is to push the name. Romans 10 verse 13. Let me go to that in case somebody says, go to the scripture. I don't believe you. Romans, back to the basics, 10. So part of the will of the Father is to push the name. Whosoever shall call upon the name of, it says, now that word there is kairos, superior, shall be saved. How then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed? And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard? Because you were supposed to, when the guy said Yeshua, he said, nope, his name is Yahushai. And how shall they hear without a what? A preacher. Preacher means a prophet. And how shall they preach or teach except they be sent? Except they be sent. So every Israelite group that came out, like one Westers or people that learned from the One Westers, there's a lot of groups out there that was never part of One West, and they just watched our videos. And they just took a name, put fringes on their garment, made up a sign, and just went out there speaking. And some of them are on point, and a lot of them are off, go off. So you know, the Most High, like I said, the Most High is in the sifting process. And he's sifting the house of Israel. He's putting out the elect, putting the elect to one side, and he's putting the rest of you to the other side. I did a video called Anathema Maranatha, which means set aside to be judged. Set aside to be destroyed. Anathema, Paul said, let him be anathema maranatha. Let him be set aside to be destroyed by the Most High. In a sacrificial sense. I believe that this is going to be a hell of a year if this is not the year. We pray that this is the year. Now, where that said, well, I'm going to go someplace else. Well, anyway, we come back over here.
In heaven. You see that? So in order to get to the kingdom, we got to do the what? The will of the Father, right? What do you think the will of the Father is?
The will of the Father is a lot of things. One of the things is his name.
Commandments. He just said it, right?
Keep the commandments ultimately. The part where in Matthew 19 and 17 or 16 and 17 that you read about the rich man, why did the Lord say keep the commandments? Because he was talking to an Israelite that was raised up as an Israelite. That's why Peter, the Jerusalem council, said, oh, you don't got Acts 15. I did a video on that as well. I mentioned that as well about the circumcision. What did Peter conclude? The heads conclude? Peter being the head? No, you don't got to get circumcised. Well, wait a minute. That's a law. Why would Peter, the head apostle, say you don't got to be circumcised? And he said, well, you can't commit adultery. He said fornication. You can't eat animals that were strangled. You can't eat the blood. But he said the circumcision, don't worry about that. Because they were Israelites coming out of a Gentile state of mind. So they didn't dump all the laws on them. Because it's not Galatians 3. Even the Apostle Paul had to curse out these Israelites in Galatia, I believe the way you pronounce Galatia, which is up there in Asia Minor. He called them a bunch of fools for pushing the law. He said it's about the spirit Matter of fact, let me go to that. Let me go to that. I'm going a little long. I didn't want to, but Galatians 3. Okay, O foolish Galatians, who have bewitched you, put a spell on you, that ye should not obey the truth, before whose eyes Yahushua have been evidently set forth, crucified among you, meaning that they were Israelites, because there were certain Israelites that saw him being crucified. That was the thing. That made your day. Oh, somebody gonna get crucified today. Let's go on down there. That was like a big pay-per-view event. Motherfuckers eating. I guarantee you, niggas was out there hustling, man, selling shit. We got the unleavened bread. We got lamb shish kebabs. Everybody looking at a nigga on the cross, slowly dying. They buying lamb shish kebabs and unleavened bread. We got the leavened bread. We got the unleavened bread. We got Taurus. Y'all want to buy a Taurus? You always had niggas that had a hustle. This only what I learn of you. Receive ye the Spirit by the works of the law, or by the hearing of faith? Are ye so foolish, having begun in the Spirit? Are ye now made perfect by the flesh, meaning the law? So now, you had I forget the brother's name in the IUIC. They were doing a church blitz, and they had a group of jakes in the church that were kind of listening to him. Then when they got into Galatians 3, and they said, well, what does this mean? And he said, that's talking about sacrificing the animals. And then they just left. They said, then they just left. No, it's talking about coming through the Spirit. Are ye so foolish, having begun in the Spirit? What does it mean, having begun in the Spirit? Meaning you learn this truth, not getting the laws dumped on you. Colossians 2 verse 16. Let no man judge you on meats, drinks, in respect of a high holy day, which is a shadow of things to come. In other words, we're not going to dump the laws on you. Are ye now made perfect by the flesh, by keeping the laws? No. That's why we need a Savior. So when our Lord talked to the rich man, the rich young man, he said the way to go to the kingdom is keeping the laws, because he was an Israelite. He was raised up as an Israelite, circumcised the 8th day. So he said, I keep all laws. He said, so now he went into the Spirit. Now we want to go deep. It goes deeper than the laws. Take all those riches and give it to the poor. He said, I keep the laws, but I ain't giving all these riches away. And then he said, and follow me. And the man went away with his head down, and not too many words. So when a guy comes into this truth, you don't say, first of all, brother, you gotta cut your locks off, and you gotta put fringes on your garment, and do you got a wife? Yes. Does she believe? No, because I'm just believing. My wife is a Baptist. Well, you got to go to her and you got to tell her to believe, and if she don't believe, just cut her off. You've been with her for 30 years. You got a bunch of kids. You got grandkids, and this is what they do at the IUIC, that your wife got to believe, which makes her a hypocrite. Because what if she wants to stay with you, so she fakes it like she's an Israelite, but in her heart she don't believe in it. She's secretly, worshiping, Caesar Borgia. That's hypocrisy right there. If they still do that, because I know that many people said they did it. If they're saying, no, we don't do that to her, you're going off, please tell me and I'll apologize. From what I hear, that's what you. Well, I remember you did it back. You told me that, Bishop Nathaniel. After the major split, you called me out of the blue. I don't know where the fuck you got my. At that time, I had that's when you had the bullshit flip phones. What was that? 2000 and something. It was had to be 2002 maybe. He had my number, called me out the blue, and he said that they had sat down and said, if your woman ain't in the truth, you got to cut her off. And they all agreed. And the majority of them guys went home and said, baby, do you believe in Israelites? She said, no. He said, well, I'm leaving. What you mean you're leaving? Like, we got kids and everything. What the mean? Yeah, what the hell you mean? What you packing your bag for? And they were just left. So you had a bunch of guys just left their wives, and some of them maybe got together, as I may think might have happened. But a lot of these women have moved on and went with men, and you caused her to commit adultery. You caused her to commit adultery. The scriptures say you can have a wife that doesn't believe. So that goes further into what I was saying about they don't have the breath. They're telling you that you're Israelite. That's a good thing. But they're not giving you the whole gospel. That's why Paul called them foolish Galatians. Key verses, are ye so foolish, having begun in the spirit, meaning you see the spirit, and you're chosen, you're into this thing. You know, Most High didn't open your eyes to this. Put the eye salves in your eyes. Are ye now made perfect by the flesh? What does it mean, are ye now made perfect by the flesh? Flesh meaning the laws. You keep the laws, and you don't do this, you do that, honor this, blah, blah, blah. And then you have guys that say they keep the law and have sex on the Sabbath. By the way, the Sabbath is not Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. The Sabbath is based upon when the new moon comes in. And the new moon is not the full moon. Let's listen to a little bit more.
So it's not about Yeshua, Yahushua, Jesus. It don't matter which name you call him. Christ just...
So that means you can call him Big Papa. So that means I can pray and say, oh, you can say, Most High and Big Papa bless. Wherever you are, Big Daddy, Most High, and Daddy Warbucks, bless. You can start singing, I love it when you call me Big Papa. So you can call him anything. You can call him Yo Play Yogurt. You can call him D-Head. You can call him Asshole. Old Heavenly Asshole. This is complete wickedness.
Said that. Everybody that says unto me, Lord, Lord, ain't gonna get to the kingdom. It says you gotta do the will. Now let's read the will. Watch this. This is in the same context of, remember, the brother came to Christ. He says, good master, what do I need to do to get to the kingdom, right? What did he say to him again? Just a recap.
Another thing, it speaks about plaiting of the hair. You got men plaiting the hair. The scriptures speak about plaiting of the hair. But it applies to women, because the only people that plaited their hair back then was, Samson plaited his hair. But Paul said Peter said plaiting of the hair.
If you want to enter into life, do what? What did Christ say?
Keep his commandments.
That's what he said, right?
Right.
So now, you forgot. See, that's why we got to keep reading. It's easy to forget. Now, Christ came back behind it and says, just because you say unto me, Lord, Lord, don't mean you're going to get there. Right. You got to do the will of my...
That's why they were teaching for a number of years that, and they still got the videos up of, that says that if you ain't right with the Most High, you're going to sleep for 1,000 years, and you're going to wake up from 1,000 years, pursuant to Revelation 20. And then the Most High going to push you Israelites in the hell, in the lake, which is the lake of fire, which is a spiritual hell that you burn in forever. Meanwhile, Edomites and other nations, they're just going to go into slavery. Hell, shit, I'd rather go into goddamn slavery than to burn in hell. So this is just more madness. Anyway, with that, I was going to go into something else, but I'm going to close it. I went long. With that, I'm going to say Shalom.
My father. Now we're going to